On today's JMO, Josh and Joe, we have NCAA basketball tournament. It's okay.
It's a little mid.
It's kind of mid. It's there's a couple of things that happened that got us excited, but overall, it's too many blowouts.
Need more upsets.
Yeah, we want more upsets. We go over the upsets, the couple upsets that we have. We go over the good games. We get a little Jack Golke talk.
Yep.
Little how hot is Calipari's seat? How hot is Bruce Pearl's seat?
Woo.
Then we make our predictions for the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8. It's pretty basic.
Quite similar.
Yeah, there's no outside influence on our picks at all.
No.
Not one bit.
Nope.
None. Not at all. Then we get to our Otdish. I think they're both like pretty closely related. Both of our OT dishes are pretty similar. Huh?
They are similar.
Yeah. One's basketball related. One's boxing related. It's nice. Yeah. Then we get to the NFL. We have Joe and I do not agree on a certain team's free agency signings.
Give contrasting points.
Yeah, which is good. No, it's good. Embrace debate. It's a good thing.
We can't be twins all the time.
Exactly. Then we get to some rule changes in the NFL. We give you our basically just give you our opinion on these rules, and I don't know. I don't like the way the NFL's changing. I go into that in a little bit of detail. Then we get into some NBA talk. The Pelicans, I haven't been this excited for the Pelicans since Anthony Davis.
Yeah. And he's being replaced by a new man, Zion
fucking Williamson. Then we talk a little bit about the NBA. We got throw some playoff talk in there. There's some teams that we highlight and take a good look at. Yeah.
All right. Let's rock and roll.
Welcome to JMO, Josh and Joe. It is Tuesday, March 26th. And Joe, this has been kind of a triple M, a mid-March madness.
Mid-March Madness. I like that.
Mid-March Madness. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's too many blowouts. It's not enough madness. Not enough madness for me. We were a bit wrong. We misjudged election year. I guess people straighten up whenever it's election year.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, well, contrary to 2020 whenever that was, COVID hell, but
yeah, so I think it was just COVID just fucked all that up.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to blaming COVID for everything.
Okay.
But COVID fucked it up. But yeah, anyways, how's your bracket doing? Mine's not busted. It's not doing well, but it's not busted.
It's made a great recovery. It was down bad. So, first 4 games, I actually was 4-0 on
the playing games.
The playing games, those first 4. I was 4-0, and then to start the entire tournament, I went 0-2. I'm honestly notorious for losing like the first and second games. I don't know what it is.
You should try to lose the first and second games from now on. You should try to pick the loser.
I need to pick my bracket out and then go through and see which ones are the first and second games being played, and then reverse whatever I picked.
Right. I feel like if you I get it. You're trying to pick the winner, so there's an obvious loser. But I think you should just switch it up. Try and pick the loser. Just look for who's going to be the biggest loser.
Yeah.
Out of those games, just switch it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. It was kind of a mediocre first round. I'm not gonna lie. We had. Let's see. I have three of my final 4.
I still have 3 of my final 4.
I feel like the problem with boring March Madness is everyone still has 3 of their 4 Final 4.
Well, the good teams make it to the Final 4. The
Right.
ones that you actually are like, all right, I think these guys will make it, or you're just doing like the safe bet, actually make it, which is what makes it mid.
Right. Yes, we have all the 1s and 2s seeds still here. I think we've just been spoiled kind of spoiled the last 4 years.
Yeah, you could say that,
of,
especially
like,
with the
just-
15 and 16 upsets.
Yes, and like the St. Peter's making the runs, just and actually we've had a lot of 3 and 14 upsets too.
Yes.
We had one really big one that we're gonna get to this year, but we've been spoiled. I think that's just the problem. We've been spoiled.
We thought it was the new normal, but we just didn't realize we were being spoiled.
Yes, so things have come back to normal, I guess.
Yeah.
It's back to normal. This is March Madness. Here's the thing. In your bracket pools, if you're I'm in a couple of bracket pools. I'm in 3 different ones. Those they award more points for whenever you keep players in. So you need to have the champion. Like you want to have as many Final Four and as many many from the champion. Like you want to have both teams from the championship and the champion. It's usually the one who has the champion wins.
Yes.
Wins those bracket pools. So you can come from behind anytime. It's and a lot of people still have, like I said, their Final Four. At least a couple of them, 3 of the 4, like we do. But it's being different in your champion, and that's where I came in with Arizona because I've looked around. I am in a very small percentile when it comes to people picking Arizona.
Okay.
Not many people have picked Arizona, which I'm okay with. They don't look like they're going to win it, but I'm going to be rooting my ass off for them.
Yeah, you're right.
They have a good team.
You're right about the scoring settings. So, the further you go into the tournament, the more points that you score for having that correct pick. So, yes, and then you, like you said, you have that advantage as far as the lower percentile of picking Arizona. So, if that actually comes true, you're probably going to win all of your brackets.
Right, if Arizona actually wins. Now, with your bracket, you have UConn winning. That is
I have Houston.
Houston, I'm sorry. You have Houston winning, which a lot of people do have Houston winning.
Yeah, or UConn.
Still, or
both.
UConn, either one. Which, in that case, you need to do well in the first 2 rounds.
I did not.
That's when you need to do well. Now, I will say this: you just need to keep those 3 of the final 4 in, and you'll be good.
I'll be good. I'll be Gucci.
Gucci. All right, let's get to some of the first round games. Let's start with the best one, Oakland versus Kentucky, and I was actually more surprised by this game that Oakland was not in California.
Right?
That was the most surprising part of this entire game.
Yeah, who would have known there's an Oakland in Michigan?
Michigan. What the fuck?
Yeah, not last place I would have thought.
They need to put how Miami of Ohio, they put Miami and then in parentheses Ohio.
Yeah.
They need to put Oakland and then in parentheses Michigan.
Michigan, yeah.
Because that's too confusing. My brain can't handle that.
Yeah, and especially when you're the Grizzly Bears, be the automobiles. At least
the autos or the M&Ms, the rappers. I don't know, the gangsters, thugs. I don't care.
Whatever Michigan provides.
Well, actually, yeah. You can't be the thugs with a guy named Jack Golke on your team.
Yeah, no.
He might be the polar opposite. If you looked up in the dictionary polar opposite of a thug, you would probably get Jack Golke in his face.
I think actually if you looked up accountant and not the OnlyFans accountant reference, but an actual accountant, you would get his face.
Car salesman.
Or a car salesman.
Yeah, insurance sales.
And he already knows he's going that direction. He's already he knows that's the NBA is not his career.
He's going to try, though.
He is.
He's going to try. No, he'll sell you windows. That man will sell you anything. He'll sell you something you already own.
Yeah. But, yeah, he came out with that post-game press conference and was like, yeah, I know I'm not going to make it to the NBA, but I like to think that I can compete with the players. Or you have to think that you can compete with NBA players because he was referencing all the NBA talent that Kentucky has.
It was awesome. He went 10 for 20 from three-point, and he was just chucking up threes, and most of them were contested. They were all, basically wild shots.
I think he's attempted 360 something.
Yeah, that stat line is wild.
It is wild. But hey, look, he's
attempted 300 something threes versus eight
two-pointers?
Yeah. So he's attempted in the entire year this year, 8 2-pointers versus 300 and whatever it was, threes.
Well, that's what happens when you're a seventh-year senior in college, is that you actually learn what actually you're good at, and you just kind of just stick to that.
And the coach let him do it. It's great.
Yeah.
That would be the best. You just go into games and chuck threes.
Yeah, like the coach was like, he's done his time. Like he's done, a red shirt and COVID year and whatever extra year. And yeah, just
good for him. Good for him. I guess the biggest news out of this is how hot. Like I know we heard today that Calipari is staying with Kentucky, but how hot is his seat going into next season?
It's scorching.
Like if he doesn't make it to the Sweet 16 next year, he's gone.
Yeah, I mean it's not even a tournament appearance. It's got to be.
You got to be the Sweet 16 or Elite 8.
Yeah,
at least the Sweet 16.
It's either that or John Calipari has major dirt on Kentucky right now
that they don't want to be released.
They cannot afford to be released. Like they would be the death sentence for their basketball program. And he has to. And I'm sure that was the meeting with his AD right there. Was like, hey, look, obviously performance-wise we can't keep you much longer, but at the same time, all this shit.
He played his card.
Yeah, exactly. And then at the same time, if you don't do as good, we'll just kind of move you up to an executive position. That way he's still within Kentucky.
Calipari is Italian.
He is Italian. So
he is Italian. He's probably got ties to the mob.
Yes. So he knows how to work his way up the system, and
put the squeeze on him.
And put the squeeze on him. So, yeah.
Kind of lean on him a little bit.
I think Calipari has dirt on Kentucky.
We should watch The Sopranos. That would be cool. Yeah. I like that take. I do. I like that take. He probably, and that's a hell of a basketball college to have dirt on. They probably have their own. They have the Kentucky mob probably.
Oh yeah,
it's wild. Yeah, that was one of the best upsets. Let's see. Let's get down to the first round. I see NC State won't lose. That's fun.
They have been on a hot streak ever since the ACC tournament, and it's just continued. But that NC State Texas Tech game first round was actually a really good game.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I had this was me being an idiot again. I said it last week. I was like, don't get caught up in who wins and who does well in their conference tournament, and I was wrong. I picked the wrong conference tournament winner. I picked Auburn, and obviously that was a fucking fail.
Yeah, yep.
Fail from Yale.
But nice.
Yeah, no, I picked Texas Tech, and NC State, they surprised me. They continue to just push forward. I think they won 7 games in 12 days or something like that.
They've been rock and rolling.
It's insane. Yeah, they've been killing it. I severely underestimated Gonzaga.
Yeah, Gonzaga, it tripped me out because typically Gonzaga, I don't really find them to be a dominant team unless they're like a 1 or 2 seed in the tournament.
Right, if they're lower than a 1 or 2 seed, then you can kind of count them out.
Well, you think they're it's an off year for them, which that's actually what I thought. But no, they're still around.
No, they're good. They're actually really good. They smoked Kansas too, and I don't know why I guess I'm still like, it's like when you kind of break up with the girl and you still have feelings for her, so like you try and support her in certain ways. That's kind of the way I felt with Will Wade. Like I guess I'm not completely over Will Wade.
Okay.
Leaving. That's why I picked McNeese State.
But she was like too toxic that you had to break up with her at the time, or else it just
I didn't
look
want
bad.
to. Yeah, I didn't want to.
You didn't want to, but you had to.
Yeah. It was one of those decisions that I'm looking back on it. I see now that I made the right choice.
Yeah. Well, because she was breaking so many lamps that it just started getting really expensive at that point.
Yeah. She did. She broke everything in my house.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, it was a business decision. You had to do it, but at the same time, you didn't want to.
I didn't. Yeah. But yeah. Back to Gonzaga. Gonzaga is really good. I want to say something. This Kansas team is going to be. They had some injuries. I think this is going to be a very, very good team next year.
Well, honestly, if you listen to Bill Self
he's been looking forward to next year.
for the past month.
Was it a month?
Yeah, so in this
Holy
press conference,
shit.
he stated, he was like, yeah, for the past month, I've been just thinking about, next season.
year.
And I was like, damn, that's a little harsh, but at the same time, I mean, hey.
I'm putting all my as soon as this tournament's over, I'm putting a future on Kansas.
The quote was definitely taken out of context, but the media took off and ran with that.
That's fine. I'm gonna take off and put a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tom Izzo got a win. How much longer Izzo has?
I mean, if he keeps getting wins in March, I mean, it don't matter how well they or how poorly they perform during the season. I mean, he's still winning.
Yeah.
And he's still going to the tourney.
Dude, and they've been to tourney for every year for what? 19, 20 fucking years, something like that, over 20 years.
Yeah.
It's insane. Nice to be a Michigan State fan. You know you're going to make it to the tournament every year.
And you just honestly wait for it. It's almost like the Patriots with the playoffs every year.
Yeah, it's like the Patriots, okay, the playoffs are here. All right, season starts.
Yeah, we're gonna start rolling.
God, that's awesome. That must be so fucking fun. So back we kind of talked about this earlier, but good for you. You picked the Grand Canyon over St. Mary's win. That was awesome.
I did.
I guess big holes in the earth actually beat Saints.
Yeah, I'm still not actually convinced that Grand Canyon is actually a real university. I think this is kind of a made-up thing, and we might get a documentary 5 years down the road. How they may be a made-up university, but
like that high school that had all those old-ass football players or something. What was it? Bishop something?
Oh yeah, or
Bishop Sycamore.
Yeah, Bishop Sycamore.
Bishop Sycamore. Yeah, dude.
Grand Canyon might be the new
Canyon
big
just
Bishops.
doesn't actually. Yeah, just doesn't actually exist. Yeah, that would be funny. We talked about JMU over Wisconsin. Vanderbilt actually hired JMU's coach.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. I can't remember his name. I don't Byington, something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Also, a new hire. While we're on that topic, Michigan hired Dusty May from Florida Atlantic.
That is true. Yeah, FAU.
So, which is a good hire. He's a good coach.
Where did he come from? Did he play somewhere?
Dusty May, I don't know what his playing career was, but I just know from Florida Atlantic. Remember when they made that run last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Honestly, he should have probably cashed out then, but he still got himself a big program like Michigan.
Oh yeah, Michigan's huge program. Huge. Let's see. Okay, so Alabama. This is one of those teams. They live by the 3, die by the 3. They were hitting their shots.
Oh yeah.
They put up 106 on Charleston, but they also let Charleston score like 90 plus points.
Honestly, you just have to have like some sort of defense and a change of pace than what Alabama does. Alabama loves to run fast. They love to run fast, score a lot of points, and just do a fast tempo offense. And like you said, live and die by the 3. The only team that can actually beat them is somebody that can change the pace, which I thought that was Grand Canyon because I picked Grand Canyon to beat Alabama, but I think it might actually be UNC because as we go into our predictions a little bit later on, you'll see that. But yeah, you got to change the pace for Alabama because if you try to keep up with the scoring, you won't.
No,
they can score points in a hurry.
As long as they're hitting their shots, yes, you can't keep up with Alabama.
Yeah, you got to play defense on them.
Yep. Okay, let's get to the Yale versus Auburn. This one fucked me really good.
I think it did with a lot of people.
I had Auburn in my Final Four. I know a lot of people had Auburn in the Elite Eight. At least the ones that were bold enough to pick them over UConn. But what happened? Like, is Bruce Pearl in the hot seat now? I mean, I can't imagine he would be. Because I would love to have Bruce Pearl, and I think most colleges in the NCAA would want to have Bruce Pearl.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know. I feel like every time there's an Ivy League that goes off in the NCAA tournament, it's just a bunch of white guys that are throwing up threes. So it's just like live and die by the 3 again.
Well, that's what they have to do.
Well, they know the actual geometry on like how to do the arc and the right propulsion.
Oh, okay. So it's all science.
Yeah, they know the exact science behind it. So, but I will say this: this was surprising. They blocked like 3 of Auburn's shots in the last few seconds to win that ball game. I don't know. If
they did. I saw that
on that last, the last couple of seconds. It was kind of a crazy ending, and Auburn had like 3 or 4 times that they could have won it or tied it at least.
It was science. They beat him with science.
They beat him with science.
That was just something that I saw that like it was one of the 2 major upsets. You had the Kentucky Oakland and Yale Auburn. That one sucked. That one sucked for me because I was stupid excited about Auburn. And I even told I said it last week. I was like, hey, don't fall into the trap of the conference champions. Don't fall into the trap. And guess what I did?
Fell into that trap.
I fell into the trap. It's very, very annoying. All right, that's all I got from the first round. You got anything else from the first round?
That's about it.
Let's see. Creighton, Oregon in double OT was fun.
Yes,
that was fun. I mean, it had me sweating because I have Creighton going to the final fucking 4. But it was a good game.
It was a good game.
It was nice. 2 double overtime.
Yeah, because I had Oregon actually winning this game because I thought they were going to just keep the streak going from the Pac-10 or Pac-12 tourney.
Yep. They were on fire. Charles Barkley had them going in the Final 4.
Oregon?
I think he actually had them going into the championship game.
Dang.
Yeah. It was bold, but I mean, he is Charles. He's Charles Barkley. The Texas A&M Houston game was dope. It kind of sucked that they lost. It didn't suck that they lost, in my opinion, because I have Houston in the championship, but it kind of sucked that they lost in overtime.
Yeah.
You just felt like they needed to win that.
It was a great game. Like you said, as mid as the first round was, the second round provided some good overtime games.
It was better.
And then the Texas A&M and Houston is such a regional matchup. Like you had a lot on the line just from a rivalry standpoint.
And they're like a nice little couple-hour drive away from each other.
Exactly. So yeah, no, that was awesome to see.
Duke destroyed JMU. I was pissed about that. I shouldn't have been surprised. Clemson is actually better than we thought.
Yeah.
That was weird.
It's weird. I just don't really envision Clemson as a basketball school at all.
Me neither.
Yeah.
When I look at Clemson, when I see Clemson, I think Trevor Lawrence still.
Or Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, well, no, I try not to. I try not to think about him.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, I just think Dabo Sweeney, Sammy Watkins.
I would think baseball before basketball at least.
Yeah,
I don't even really know how good their baseball team is.
Just anything but basketball. But I guess they're a little bit better. They beat Baylor, which Baylor is a very good team. Baylor stomped. They stomped UConn, right? Or no, they stomped Houston. They beat Houston
Early in the
season.
Got it.
Like Baylor actually has a decent team. But yeah, again, other than that, like Tennessee, Texas, that's what we expected. Dayton,
that was a pretty close game, though. It was a good game.
I know, but that's what we expected.
Yes.
Right.
We expected Tennessee to win.
Right. But you got Rick Barnes against who's the Texas coach, Rodney Perry,
and against his former team.
Yes, exactly. So it was a good storyline. Arizona, Dayton. I don't know. It just the Alabama beat Grand Canyon.
Oakland versus NC State. That was actually a good game. Probably sooner than we would have wanted to see those two because I feel like both of those could have been Cinderellas.
Both could have been Cinderellas. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. There really wasn't that great of games. Illinois destroyed Duquesne. Iowa State beat Washington State. It was a mid-March Madness so far. It's been a mid-March Madness. Maybe we'll get some buzzer beaters. Maybe we'll get some more Texas A&M type of shots to go into overtime. I don't know.
It's a law of averages, so we're gonna have a better second half than we had the first half.
Okay, all right, I like that. Let's see. Let's do our predictions for the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight. Let's see. Arizona versus Clemson. Who you got?
So I got Arizona. I'm gonna keep with my prediction with Arizona going to the Final Four. So Arizona on this one because I still think Clemson's a football school.
Yep, I agree. Same here. They have Trevor Lawrence as a point guard. San Diego State versus UConn.
I got UConn.
UConn, yeah, for sure. Okay. UNC versus Alabama. This is one we were talking about earlier. I think I agree with you that UNC can actually play defense.
As much as I kind of want to see UNC go down, I just think they actually have a good balance of offense and defense. Like, Alabama's like one of the worst in defense, but UNC actually has a very good offense that can counter a good defense for them. Mm-hmm. So I got UNC.
I do too. Illinois versus Iowa State.
I'm going to keep riding with Illinois.
I am too. I like the way they're playing right now. They're playing some really good ball. NC State versus Marquette. I will say this. I'll be honest, I picked Marquette, but I will be rooting so hard for NC State.
I don't think the clock struck midnight yet.
No? Let's go.
NC State for me.
I might put a bet on NC State then.
Don't do that. You're gonna fuck up my prediction.
Fuck you all up.
God, you're gonna fade me.
Purdue versus Gonzaga. Let's put it. This is a game that I kind of want Gonzaga to win. I'm gonna pick Purdue because I think they're on a mission, but I kind of want Gonzaga to win this.
I think Purdue's on a mission too. And honestly, this is very contrasting to what I had at the very beginning when I was picking the tournament because I just thought they weren't a good tournament team.
Well, no, you still feel they fucked you last year.
Yeah, I still have. Yes, I very much have a lot of resentment for what they did to me last year. Yeah. Yes, very much so.
They boned you hard.
Yeah. So, but I'm coming back around. I saw Zach Edey put up 30 points and 20 rebounds. That's pretty impressive. And it seems like that
is pretty. I mean, well, he's 7'4".
Yeah, and it was also Grambling State, so I mean the talent level was a little bit disparate on that one. But I don't know. I think they match up a little bit better with Gonzaga, just with Edey, and like I said, I think they're on a mission now.
They are on a mission, but I actually might bet. I might.
You know, might bet Gonzaga.
No, I'm gonna bet Purdue. I'm gonna go all in on Purdue. Actually.
God, you're gonna fade me again.
Yeah. Duke versus Houston. This is going. I'm predicting this is gonna be the best game of the Sweet 16.
Okay.
This is gonna be a fucking amazing game.
I can agree with that. I can back that up.
I'm gonna pick Houston because I have them in my Final Four. But
exactly.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a great fucking game. Creighton versus Tennessee. This game scares the panties off of me. I have Creighton in the Final Four, so obviously I need Creighton to beat Tennessee, but I didn't think Tennessee was gonna look this good.
Tennessee looks good because typically they aren't a good team in the tournament, but
this is
this
is about the time when they start to lose.
This is about the time they start to lose. That is true.
It's the second round in the Sweet 16.
But they don't usually have a Dalton Connect. Like somebody that can take over the game.
You have a crush on Dalton Connect.
I do. Very much so.
I mean, then that's fine. I have crushes on players all the time.
Yes.
But you have a Dalton Connect.
I very much
connection with Connect.
I vision myself looking like him when I'm on the basketball court.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're okay. Yeah.
You see how it goes?
Do you have a poster of him in your room?
Well, I have 3, but
okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Dope. All right. Elite 8 matchups. Let's see. We would have So I would have Creighton versus Purdue going up from the Midwest. I would have Creighton versus Purdue. And again, I'm rooting for Gonzaga in that, but I'm gonna pick Purdue. I'm gonna pick Creighton. I have to pick Creighton.
You have to. Okay.
I have to.
You have to abide by your original pick.
Right. And I believe you picked. Who'd you pick on the Creighton, Tennessee?
I picked Tennessee on the Creighton, Tennessee.
So you have Tennessee versus Purdue.
And I'm gonna say Purdue.
Ooh. Well, yeah, they're on a mission.
They're on a mission.
Okay. Let's see. We both had Marquette and Houston winning, right?
No, we did not.
Oh, you had NC State.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. I have Houston versus Marquette. And I'm going to pick Houston, obviously. You have Houston versus NC State. Are you going to keep this? Has the clock struck midnight?
The clock has struck midnight on this one.
So it's going to be Houston. Has nothing to do with your bracket.
It's a little about my bracket.
This entire prediction has been all about my bracket.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to be completely honest.
I've got to go continuous with my bracket.
Yeah. I'm not actually I'm only predicting this because of my bracket. Let's see. We both had Illinois and we both had UConn. So Illinois versus UConn. What we thinking?
I'm going down with the ship. UConn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a pretty sturdy ship. It's not like you're on the Titanic or anything.
No.
I picked UConn as well. Okay. Do we both have UNC in Arizona?
Sure do.
Okay. I'm obviously picking Arizona because they're my champion.
I picked Arizona because they're my Final Four.
I guess it's good we're honest.
We're pretty honest. I mean, the only one that we don't agree with is the Creighton and Purdue.
Creighton, Tennessee.
Well, yeah, I got Purdue on that one.
Right. And I have Creighton beating Tennessee. So
yeah,
it's not even the same game. I have to go with Creighton. I called it like it was towards the end of the season. You remember we had that episode. I was just all about Creighton, and then they stomped UConn, which I was like, okay, I'm sold.
Still riding on that.
Yeah. Let's see. You got anything else on the tournament?
That's about it.
Let's hope it's a little bit better than the first two rounds.
Yeah.
Let's get to Otdish on this date in sports history. In 1979, on this date, the 41st NCAA Men's Basketball Championship, Michigan State beats Indiana State 75-64. Do you know who was on those teams?
Who was on those teams?
Michigan State had Magic Johnson.
Okay.
Indiana State, Larry Bird.
Ooh.
That started it might be one of the most ultimate, like the one of the greatest rivalries in sports history between Magic Johnson and Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Because it continued into the NBA.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
It was epic.
Yes.
It was fucking epic. At the time, it was the highest rated game in the history of televised college basketball. It might still be the highest rated televised game of college basketball.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was insane. I mean, think about it. Magic Johnson leading in Michigan State, and then you got the Cinderella team, Indiana State, led by Larry Bird.
Well, both of them were high-profile players, like that were loved by fans, like all around.
All around.
Yeah, I mean, just their style of play, their personalities. It was just everybody loved them.
This is one of those games where I wish I could go back in time and kind of enjoy it live.
Yeah, just be a fly on the wall.
Just be whatever. I'll be a a germ.
Yeah,
I don't care. What you got?
I'll go a little bit along that theme. So my OT dish, it goes back to 1952. 1952 was the 14th NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. During this championship, Kansas beats St. John's University 80-63. Now, the significance about this tournament was it was the first tourney to have a true Final Four format.
So what was the format before?
So basically what it was before was they would have 16 teams, which is what we had on this one. They would have 16 teams, but the regionals, each side there would be two regional sides instead of four quadrants. There would be two regionals,
gotcha.
And then they played their championship game in the regional, and then there was a championship game in the on a neutral site.
Gotcha.
Whereas in this one, it set up the Final Four to be at a neutral site, which was at Heck Edmondson Pavilion in Seattle, Washington, home of the Seattle University of Washington campus. And this was started the format of play all the games from the regionals, and then the Final Four is in a separate location, separate big stage.
Well, yeah, okay. It deserves it. It deserves it. You're the Final fucking Four.
Yeah. So the first Final Four consisted of St. John's versus Illinois and Kansas versus Santa Clara.
Oh, nice.
Pretty interesting. So St. John's kind of surprised me as being quite the powerhouse back in the day in basketball.
I mean, they're still decent. They do all right in the Big East.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
And so one of the things that they used to do that was interesting that I found was they used to have a regional third place game, and they also had a national third place game. So the people that lost in the regional would actually do a third place game, and then the people that lost in the Final Four would do a third place game.
I don't like that, but
You don't want to bring it back?
no.
Okay.
No, you're a loser. You're done. You're out.
Honestly, I feel like you would have the same vibe as the NBA All-Star, game. Like, it doesn't really matter that much.
Doesn't matter. No, nobody. Who the fuck cares?
Who cares?
It's just like people not trying not to get hurt.
Exactly.
So I'm out. 1992, Mike Tyson sentenced to 10 years for the rape of what's her name, Desiree Washington. The main reason why I wanted to talk about this one is because Mike Tyson. No, this is not 1991 or anything like that. But yes, Mike Tyson does have a boxing match coming up.
Yes,
this summer.
Yes, he is back in the news.
He's fighting Jake Paul, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I hope he smashes Jake Paul's face in. I do. I respect the Pauls. I respect Logan and Jake Paul. I respect what they do and everything. But he's a little shit, and I want to see Mike Tyson just knock somebody out one time. I've never been actually old enough to see a Mike Tyson knockout. I want to see a Mike Tyson knockout.
Yeah. No, that is true, and they're really kind of hyping it up because they showed some videos with Mike Tyson and everything. But
dude, he's in shape for as old as he is. He looks good.
I'm still gonna bet the script. I'm gonna still bet
Jake Paul. Okay,
because I think for me, it's a win-win. If I win the bet, I win the money. If I lose the bet,
you get to see Mike Tyson knock somebody out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Actually, that's a great idea. I won't do it. I promise. I promise I won't.
Thank God you won't fade that bet for me.
I won't mush you. Yeah. What's your last one?
So a little bit more on the boxing theme. Continuation on that. 1974, George Foreman TKOs Ken Norton in the second round for the WBA, WBC, and ring heavyweight boxing titles in Caracas, Venezuela. Goodness gracious, words are hard for Joe.
Caracas, Venezuela.
Yeah.
And then he went on to sell grills.
Yes.
Which was a weird choice for career, but I bought a George Foreman grill because it was George Foreman.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It's a good purchase. I loved it.
I still have mine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Let's see. You got anything else on Otdish?
I think that wraps it up.
Cool. Let's get to. We got a couple of NFL things. Hang on, I want to check the score of the Pelicans game. No, come on, dude. The Pelicans need to fucking do. We need to win this game. They're playing the Oklahoma City Thunder. Damn, Zion already has 10 fucking assists, and it's in the third quarter, 4:20 left. All right, NFL. Let's see. L'Jarius Sneed to the Titans. Let's go ahead and have this debate because I know we disagree on this. I hate what the Titans are doing this season.
Okay.
I think it's dumb. I don't think they're making the right moves to rebuild. I think if you're going to sign high-profile players, you need to sign them on offense and not on defense. And yes, I'm considering Calvin Ridley and Tony Pollard non-high profile players. I don't like it. I don't like what the direction they're going in. They have a brand new fucking coach. Don't sign L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah, I think it's more in relation to the new coach. I think that's a direct factor, is like trying to bring in players, like do an overhaul of new players that fit his system and his type of play. I mean, like for instance, Tony Pollard. Do I really like the signing? No. But does he model more of a Joe Mixon of like what the caliber player that he had in Bengals when he was the offensive coordinator? Yes, I think so. Calvin Ridley. If you think about the Bengals offense, they had Jamar Chase, they had T. Higgins, they had Tyler Boyd. There's a plethora of receivers. You got to put some receivers on that field if you're going to run that offense. I think that plays a little bit more into his offense. That's a type of his signing. Should they have paid him the same amount as A.J. Brown was asking last year? Absolutely not.
That pissed me off.
Yeah, so some of this, like the signings and stuff, and then like L'Jarius Sneed, the Titans traded for him. They traded a 2025 pick, third round, and then a 2024 seventh round swap, which doesn't really do anything, but in my opinion. But anyways,
also, like you said earlier, the GM that didn't pay Antonio I'm sorry, not Antonio Brown. Goddamn, what can't
A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown. The GM that didn't sign A.J. Brown is not there anymore.
He is not there. Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's to your point.
Exactly.
Again, I don't like the direction they're going. They are making moves. So I will say that they are making moves. I don't think they're the right moves.
You know what? And you could be right on that. Like, I think both arguments could have a valid argument until it gets played out. Because like you're saying, the type of players that they're getting and everything, and the moves that they're making are kind of not in the right direction. Whereas I'm just saying it's more of like a revamp of everything from that team and from what Mike Vrabel was doing.
It just seems like they're trying to sign people to get his Brian Callahan system going now. And I think they need to be in a rebuild. I don't think they should be signing players like Calvin Ridley or L'Jarius Sneed. I think they should be going for those positions in the draft. That because Will Levis is still very, very, very young, obviously. So they can rebuild, but I think they need to draft. They need to draft those types of positions, not sign these high-profile players. You sign those high-profile players when you're trying to fucking win a Super Bowl, not rebuild. So I guess it could go either way. And honestly, I like this. We'll see how it pans out. But yeah, that was a big signing. L'Jarius Sneed to the Titans. Let's get to some. We'll do bonehead NFL rules. That's our new segment.
Okay.
The hip drop tackle. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be completely honest. I had to look up what a hip drop tackle was whenever they said it was banned.
Yeah.
How are they supposed to tackle from behind? What the fuck are they supposed to do when they're running from behind? Besides trip the guy.
I guess just trip the guy.
Like, or what? I'm sorry. If you can grab onto their waist, are you supposed to like just kind of drop down and grab their legs? That doesn't always tackle the person. You have to hold on to them. What exactly do they expect them to do?
I'm not sure. And I'm just kind of curious, like, has this always been a thing? Like,
that's what I'm saying. I think it was a big Mark Andrews obviously was a big deal last year because he got hurt from a hip drop tackle.
But we never really heard about this until this year.
Right. Like I said, I would be completely honest. I had to look up what a hip drop tackle was. I didn't know. It's so fucking stupid. You can't play defense.
Yeah, that's kind of the consensus right now as far as from players and fans alike.
Oh, yeah, the NFLPA hates it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of curious where they get these where they get these stats from, and I don't know. I feel like I'm not on board with stats anymore.
No,
I don't
I'm
like.
out. Analytics sucks.
I think stats. I think you can skew stats to tell whatever story and narrative that you want it to be.
Exactly.
You can pinpoint what stats to highlight to actually make your point. I'm off stats now.
Yeah. No, we're an anti-stats podcast.
I knew I hated that class for a reason.
Yep.
And I don't like stats.
Business statistics was the worst class I ever had in my entire life.
Yeah.
That was in college, in high school, grade school. I didn't give a fuck, dude, and I hated science.
Yeah, and it's not because I only showed up to 2 of my classes in college.
Oh, it had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, it's just I don't.
No,
you know.
business stats. No, statistics don't. It's no statistics. Again, like you said, it's almost subjective.
Yeah.
Statistics have become subjective because you can just kind of morph them into whatever the fuck you want them to be.
Like I said, you just highlight, you just kind of pinpoint the stats that you want to highlight. And yeah, so I don't know, like why hasn't this been a thing for the last quite a few years? Or has it?
I guess it has, but they didn't really say anything about it. Now it's just a big deal because they banned it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. One thing
it is harder for defenses, last point, but I heard that they won't get flagged very much this year.
It's more of like they're going to get fined.
And they're going to get fined, which I do like that because then at least it won't affect the game and the gameplay.
Agreed.
At least they just, hey, look, you're going to get fined afterwards. So,
which, I mean, I think they'll develop ways to pay their fines not out of their pocket.
maybe as bonuses.
So yeah, so like they'll restructure contracts to where like, hey, if I get fined, then y'all cover it.
Or cover half.
75,
Or depending what the fine is.
75%.
Because obviously if you just Antonio Brown the shit out of everything and just take your jersey off and run off the field, the franchise is not going to pay for that.
I guess you'd have to have some fine print, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great if the Buccaneers just paid for Antonio Brown's like half nude fine.
Just exit out of the stadium.
That would be amazing. One thing I do like though, these new kickoff rules. Okay,
You like them?
Yes. I think it's gonna make for more kickoff returns for touchdowns, which I'm all about. My only issue with this is the NFL already, like, they're changing it too much.
Okay.
They have a perfect game. They have great ratings. Why are you continuously changing the game? Like, I understand the safe. Do you want to make it safer? It's a violent game. Stop. Make the NFL violent again. But with the kickoff, like, look, you already have a great game. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Super Bowl is like the most watched event in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you want? I think you're gonna hurt it. Now, with that being said, this is one of those rule changes where I kind of like it.
Well, let's put it this way. In the direction that they were going with how moving the line up for the kickoff point, doing fair catches that will go into the 25, there was just way too many touchbacks.
Yes, way too many.
So based off the current rules that they already made, this is a better version. This, like you said, will have maybe an opportunity to see more kickoff returns. Now, what this does do that I don't really like is it structures it, standardizes it, and makes it very strict. And the way I say that in that manner is because you're not going to see any more surprise onside kicks anymore.
Yeah,
you cannot see any more surprise onside kicks. You have to announce when you're doing an onside kick or whether you're doing a kickoff.
We are very big fans of surprise onside kicks.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of rules as far as like. Now I do like this fact. You can't fair catch it whenever it's in the landing zone. So if it's from the 20 to the end zone, you cannot fair catch it. You can let it go bounce into the end zone for a touchback, but you can't fair catch it. Which
correct.
I do like that. That actually is a good part of this rule.
It actually forces the special teams to block on every single kick.
Yes.
Because they don't know if it's going to go in the landing zone or not.
Yes. So, but like I said, I think from a variation standpoint, you can't have too many variables to it. It's basically a standard play now, but at the same time, it's better than just getting a touchback every single time.
And if you think about it, like what's the percentage of onside kicks versus like actual kickoffs? It's a very small percentage. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Or as far as surprise onside kicks.
Well, even surprise onside kicks. I'm talking about surprise onside kicks or onside kicks. It's a very small percentage. So it makes the larger percentage of these kickoffs, whether it be onside kicks or not, more fun to watch. The onside kick rules need to be changed, though. It needs to go back.
I think it needs to go back.
We need to go back to what we had. I understand why they changed it, but let's go back. No, fuck that. I want hard, guys it's 10 yards. It's 10 yards. They can just ram into each other at 10 yards. I played rugby. That's what we did. Every time you go into a ruck, the scrum half would take the ball, pitch it to one of the forwards, and you had basically, it was like 8 meters, and you just ran into each other, and we didn't have fucking pads on. They'll be okay. They'll be okay.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because the onside kick, you want to have that chance, that opportunity. You can't have a small percentage. You can't have like a 0.0% chance that they're going to actually get the onside kick.
Right.
It's got to be a better percentage chance to actually recover. And it's just not that way with the new rules.
Right. Let's see. We got Tre'Davious White going to the Rams. I guess the Rams are trying to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, or buffer up that defense. The defense wasn't like really great, but Sean McVay's defense never really are great until they spend a shitload of money because they have a rookie contract quarterback. So
This is true.
But are
they trying to give Stafford one more?
I think so. I think that would be the thing. You got Matthew Stafford. He's already won. You won. You got yourself kind of a good offense of what they showed last year. They got Puka Ncaa. They got Kyron Williams. You got some pieces there to go around with Matt Stafford. So
Right.
I agree. Push for one more championship with him.
Might as well. I mean, I think he's got one more year left, right? I'd be surprised if Matt Stafford didn't retire after this year.
Yeah, one, maybe two max.
2 max.
I would say 2 max.
Look, I would be willing to put a hefty wager on Matt Stafford retiring after this season.
Mm-hmm.
We should stamp that and save it for next year.
Okay.
You got anything else on the NFL?
That's about it.
Okay. Real quick, NBA.
Pelicans are still on a tear, baby. Let's fucking go.
8-2 in the last 10, climbed to number 4 in the West.
We're actually at number 5 right now. We went back down.
Went back down.
Yes. We're catching up.
We're tied with Clippers right now technically. So
It is
4 or 5.
We are 4. We're tied. It's exactly the exact same. I would rather stay in those 2. Like if we moved up to 3 and played Sacramento or Dallas it would be Sacramento or Dallas. I don't know. Phoenix, dude, it's so fucking close. Jesus Christ.
It's so close.
6 through 8 is separated by half a game.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's insane. So it could shake up so much. I love the West. We need to stay in that 4 to 5 range. If we get a series against the Clippers first, I will be so happy. Speaking of the West, the reason why nobody wants to be in the fucking playing games is because did you see the Lakers put up 150 against the Pacers?
I did.
150 against the Pacers, who are actually a really good team. They're a decent team.
They're a decent team.
Yeah. I like Rick Carlisle as a coach. I really do. I don't think I thought the Mavs getting rid of him was a bad choice, but I mean they kind of had to. But the Celtics. Did you see the Celtics yesterday? They blew a 30-point lead against the Hawks.
Yeah, I saw that.
Took the foot off the gas. I'm not saying they're a bad team or anything, but damn, you just kind of like gave up.
Yeah, you kind of really let the ball drop on that one.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've already clinched the playoffs. You're probably going to clinch the number 1 seed. You know what? If I'm a Celtics fan, I'd rather them drop the ball now rather than the playoffs.
Correct. But clinch the number 1 seed before you start letting your foot off the gas like that. We did get a sweet fucking Jason Tatum dunk, though. That was the dunk that... look up the dunk.
Yeah.
Go look up the dunk. It was amazing. I guess speaking of the Clippers, what's up?
Well, I will say, yeah, they have been on a little bit of a stretch, a little downfall stretch. I don't think it really plays well when you try to block your own teammate's shot.
That was weird. That was probably one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in the NBA.
I don't think that's the best strategy. It's a bold move.
Yeah, it's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. It's almost like forfeiting.
I will say
forfeiting the shot.
I will say James Harden was just trying to be funny. He was like, it would have been much better if he made it, which that is very true.
It is very true, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Kawhi Leonard was really taken aback by the fact that James Harden was coming full force to try to block his shot.
It is kind of funny. That is kind of funny.
Yeah.
This fucking league.
But at the same time, it's pretty coincidental that at that same time they're doing their downfall. But
yeah, you don't do that when you're like actually like not playing well. You do that when you're like the Boston Celtics or the New Orleans Pelicans, who are like we're like 8-2 in the last 10.
Yep.
Yeah, you do that when you're on a winning streak and you have something clenched up. You don't do that when you're like fighting for seeds.
Yeah, and I will say that's. All jokes aside, that's not the reason of their downfall. Honestly, they just really haven't been beating good teams in the last 6 weeks. And that's really been – it's not a drop on their offense. It's really a drop on their defense. They just have been struggling to defensively guard people. And once they can kind of do that, which is tough to do with a lot of people, a lot of stars that they have on their team with a bunch of egos – but once they can do that, they can get themselves competitive again. But
they like Russell Westbrook plays decent defense. Kawhi Leonard is probably the best two-way player still. Well, one of the best two-way players still. I mean, he used to be, especially when he was at the Toronto Raptors.
I mean, I know. Yeah, I know that.
So like, yeah, you know that.
I know that. I know that.
And then, like, Paul George doesn't really... Yeah, I guess. James Harden definitely doesn't play defense.
No.
Paul George doesn't really play defense. So, I mean, I guess I could see that. I don't know. It just seems... Like, you say all 4 of those names on one team, and you're just... I don't know. You have to think, like, superstar team, right? Like, there's... How do you... It's almost like the Golden State Warriors when they got Kevin Durant. Like, how do you beat that team?
Yeah. No, it's... Like I said, I think that's just their problem right now. If they can fix that defense, I think they can still be a force to reckon with.
Yeah, I agree. You got anything else?
I have to do a shout out to Zion. Zion is looking and feeling well. I mean, Brandon Ingram, he's out for 2 weeks right now with an injury, and I think it's Zion time to take over. I'm freaking loving it, dude. With that sky dunk that he had the other night,
he looks good.
He just looks good.
He looks so good.
And he says he's been emphasizing. He revamped his recovery. He revamped his dieting, and he is. I believe it because I can see it on the court.
He stopped eating gumbo.
He stopped. Yeah, he stopped eating the Louisiana good food, which I know is probably
very hard
for him. But at the same time, hey, good for him.
Look, you can fuck all those ghetto bitches you want. We have a lot of them. You fuck them all. I don't care. Just stop eating the food.
Yeah. Well, if the ghetto bitches are getting him in trouble, like let's lay off of that too. But
yeah, okay. Well, yeah, that's true. Just lay off the ghetto bitches and the food, okay? I know it's really tough down here in South Louisiana. We got a lot of great food, a lot of great ghetto bitches, okay? Just lay off. Just until the season's over.
But if he can take this 2 weeks to dominate and become the alpha of this team, I think they can go far into the playoffs.
I agree. I totally 100% agree. I love this team. Love it so much.
Yep, that was my last thought.
All right. I think that wraps it up, right?
Yep.
That wraps it up. All right. We will see y'all next week. Love y'all.
Later.